Welcome to another episode of What's Up with DJ. I'm DJ, the number one place to find out all things that interest me and hopefully you as well. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, share, and visit the show description to find out more about the What's Up with DJ podcast. And with that being said, let's get right into the show. So, fans want to make Kanye West great again. So, after his anti-Semitic remarks that he said last week, there's been a lot of backlash directed towards Kanye West, and rightfully so. I'm just trying to get my mind wrapped around the whole situation as well. And Kanye West is a very complicated figure in pop culture. And he's always in the news about something crazy, it seems. Unfortunately, he's went from having the conversation being centered around his music, which at one point was really great, it being the conversation now is always about something crazy that he said or did. So after receiving so much backlash after his anti-Semitic remarks, he posted a handwritten note via Instagram saying that he was going to be quitting sex, alcohol, and won't talk to anybody for a month. He's going to stop watching X-rated films and not have sex for 30 days. So some kind of verbal fast. I don't know how that's going to solve anything, but I do think it's a good idea for him to stop talking. That doesn't necessarily mean that he is not going to be posting on Instagram and Twitter or whatever places he posts on social media. So, but I think it's a good thing that he is quiet. I don't know if he's doing this because he's trying to squirm his way back into those partnerships that he lost with, and the biggest one being Adidas. And he's trying to get in the good graces of those individuals. But one thing that I feel is that he never expected, I think he expected it to get a lot of media coverage, the whole White Lives Matter t-shirt and the anti-Semitic comments. I thought that, he was going to, I think he believed he would get lots of attention for that, which he did, but I don't think that he ever expected it to be this intense. And he's offered an apology, well, somewhat an apology.
I didn't realize that I could be considered anti-Semitic till I read one of the definitions of anti-Semitism. And I feel like this is God humbling me right now, because what I want to say is, like, black people are like, okay, Lex Friedman got you to apologize. Pierce Morgan got you to apologize to the Jews, but you never apologized to us about the George Floyd comment that made us feel bad. And I know that police do attack, and America is generally racist. And I understand that when we got to say Black Lives Matter, that the idea of it made us feel good together as a person, as a people. So when I said that, and I questioned the death of George Floyd, it hurt my people. It hurt the black people. So I want to apologize to hurting them, because right now God has shown me by what Adidas is doing and by what the media is doing, I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now.
As I mentioned last week, he's fallen off of the Forbes billionaire list. He was considered number 2 or number 1 as the wealthiest hip hop artist. And it seems as though Jay-Z is number 1 or number 2. I can't really understand how they're calculating the numbers, but at one point I was seeing that Kanye West was at $2 billion, estimated $2 billion, but that Adidas partnership now no longer, it seems though that he's now falling off the list with a $400 million net worth, and Jay-Z is number 1 and Sean Puff Daddy is number 2. So it's these are rich people's problems. Who 2 billion, 400 million, still it's a lot of money that he still has. The interesting thing about this is that one of his fans, I guess they want Kanye West to be a billionaire again. So they created a GoFundMe page for Kanye And GoFundMe took the page down. Before it was taken down, it had someone, or I don't know how many people, maybe one person had a chance to contribute $5 to that GoFundMe page. So, there are people out there that are in support of him and want to see him do well, and they want to see him as a billionaire. And, that's good that you still have people that support you after you've driven all this negative attention to yourself. But to me, how do I feel about Kanye West? I think he's an interesting figure in pop culture, being that he manipulates the media, and how he sort of does that is interesting to me. But outside of that, his comments and what he thinks, his views, I don't really think much about it, because he's just not somebody that I would want even to have a conversation with, because I don't really think that he's his concern isn't necessarily, is to really feel compassionate about the people that he's supposed to be defending, if he's defending anyone. I think his cause and what it is that he perpetuates is self promotion, promotion his businesses, his shoes that are now being burned off, it seems, and his businesses to ultimately, make these goals of being a mogul, of being a billionaire, creating a whole bunch of wealth. And I see that he'll say anything and do anything that will jump on any bandwagon that he feels is going to get him to that place where he's going to make that kind of money. And these individuals, I think, like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian and all these type of individuals, understand how to turn attention into dollars. And I think people are very forgiving. As I said last week, that he's already apologizing already to, sort of gain some kind of momentum in the right direction. Are people going to be more willing to be forgiving and say, hey, I forgive Kanye West and I want to go and purchase whatever he's selling? Who knows? Will you do that? Will you go out and purchase some Kanye West things if he decides to go with a different distributor or production, or whoever creates those Yeezys? He goes to someone else like Sketches, or whoever will have him and create. He'll find somebody out there who's willing to create those shoes and make money with him. Are you going to go out there and buy those shoes? Because that's really what makes a determining factor when it comes to these people, creating wealth and creating wealth at that particular level.